Good. Well, welcome. He's coming around.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Welcome, loved ones. We gather together in this wonderful, beautiful location to celebrate the wedding of Marcy and Mike and to share this formal commitment they make to one another. Marriage is perhaps the greatest and most challenging adventure of all human relationships. No ceremony can create your marriage, only you can do it. Through love and patience, through dedication and perseverance, and through talking and listening, helping and supporting and believing in each other, through tenderness and laughter, through learning to forgive and learning to appreciate your differences, and by learning to make the important things matter and let the rest just go. What this ceremony can do is to witness and affirm the choice that you've already made to stand together as life mates and partners. Will you, Mike, take this woman to be your wedded wife?
Sure.
Sure. You might want to consider that. Yes, I believe that. He's smiling too broad for it to just be a sure. Will you, Marcy, take this man to be your wedded husband?
Yes.
Yes, that's good. Well, I'm going to share with you a little reading by Robert Fulghum that really involves this marriage ceremony. So I want you to listen to it. You have known each other from the first glance of acquaintance to this point of commitment. At some point, you decided to marry. From that moment of yes to this moment of yes, indeed, you have been making commitments in informal ways. All of those conversations that were held in a car, or over a meal, or during a long walk. All those conversations that began with when we're married and continued with I will and you will and we will. All those late night talks that included someday and somehow and maybe, and all those promises that are unspoken matters of the heart. All these common things and more are the process of a wedding. The symbolic vows you're about to make are a way of saying to one another, you know all those things that we promised and hoped and dreamed. Well, I meant it all, every word. Now look at one another and remember this moment in time. Before this moment, you have been many things to one another. Acquaintances, friends, companion, lovers, dancing partners, even teachers. For you have learned much from one another these past few years. Shortly, you shall say a few words that will take you across the threshold of life, and things between you will never be quite the same. For after today, you shall say to the world, this is my husband. This is my wife. We've come to the point in the ceremony, and the dog is letting me know.
He's ready to go.
Where you're going to make your vows to one another. Now, you haven't written your own vows.
We have a couple little mini things.
Okay, so do you want to share your vows to one another? Okay, we've come to them. Before you do that, though, I ask you to remember that love, which is rooted in faith, trust, and acceptance, will be the foundation of abiding relationship. No other ties are more tender, no other words are more sacred than the ones you now assume. If you're able to keep the vows that you take today, not because of some religious or civic law, but out of a desire to love and be loved by another person fully, without limitation, then your life will have joy, and the home you will establish, beginning in this wonderful place, will be a place where you both will find direction for your growth and for your freedom and for your responsibility. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to face one another and take both hands. And Marcy, I want you to look as deeply as you can into Mike's eyes. And I want you to share your vows with him.
Babe, ever since I've met you, my life has gotten exponentially better every single day. And thank you for coming into my life and believing in me and loving me so much. I promise to be the most amazing wife and love you forever.
Outstanding. Now, Mike, I want you to do the same thing. I want you to look as deeply as you can into Marcy's eyes. And I want you to say your vows to her.
Marcy, this is exactly how we both envisioned our wedding day to be. Everyone here is from either West Virginia or Upper St. Clair. And it's like Ed was saying on the elevator here, it's going to be one hell of a story. And there's nobody in the world I'd rather hear tell the story than you.
I love you.
I love you a lot. It's like I said that first day when you slow motion, not another teen movie, Gretchen Wienert walked into Piper's. There's a few people in your life you meet and you never forget it. And I just still can't believe that I'm about to marry one of them. And I promise to be the best husband, the best friend, the best everything for you every day.
Outstanding. Now, do you have rings?
No, we actually don't right now.
You don't right now. Well, those rings will be symbolic of it's just symbolic of the commitment that you've made to one another right now. Therefore, if there are no rings, the only thing I have to say is that by the power invested in me, by this glorious Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I now declare you to be husband and wife. Yes! You may now kiss one another!
I love you.